Hi everyone, Scorp here. Going to go over another deck profile. Today somebody requested in the comments that I do a warrior playthrough. So first I'm gonna go through a deck profile for light/earth warriors, mostly earth. Today and then tomorrow I'm gonna try to do a dark warrior type build, which is slightly, I don't know which deck will be better. I know this one is way cheaper, or I know this one will be way cheaper. I don't know what the next one's final deck cost is going to be, but this one is definitely going to be cheaper. So, starting off, this is like kind of close to what I'd ideally put in a deck. I don't know, I've tried a couple different builds of this. I am not much of a warrior player in this game. I put a lot of green kappas and eye armors in my deck because they're super overpowered. But I don't play just straight warriors very often. So this is my favorite thing I've came up with so far for it. So deck leader, I want something that's level 3 for warriors so that I can have open card with extended support range, which is a really powerful combo, and still getting increased strength for same type friendlies of 300 points. It also weakens dragons, but that comes up far less often. If you use a level 5 leader, you just don't get open card and you get 200 extra strength, so maybe it's worth it? I really don't think so. So this is why I choose a level 3 warrior. Next up, Temple of Skulls. This card is probably the most cuttable. I use a lot of spells in my decks, so if you're not going to use Temple of Skulls, just throw in some other good card. I would probably put an extra Ancient Tree of Enlightenment in because I don't like dealing with traps, and this deck runs one trap, so. Or you can put in a second Goblin Fan if you know your opponent's going to run Rurioku. So. Then 3 green kappas. These are Dark Warriors, but I don't care. I never equip them, so that doesn't matter. These are just... This thing's effect should cost 25 deck cost instead of 5, so absolutely ridiculously strong creatures. Triple Axe Raider, this is the best level 4 warrior that you can get in the game. They're basically just a target for fusion with a card coming up later to make Judge Man. But also, I don't feel bad just playing these. That's why I didn't go with like a level 3 creature for this fusion that like is just barely meeting the attack requirements. I think it's somewhere between like 1,000 and 1,200 for the attack requirements. But I didn't want to play a card that I just didn't ever want to play on its own, so that's why I went with Axe Raiders. Dream Clowns, 3 of these, when they're flipped, they eternally spellbind an enemy. Great for getting rid of opponents that just charged you really quick, and this also works through Gorgon's Eye, so like your opponent, you just put it face down in an attack, and your opponent's like, oh, I'm just gonna hit you for game with my 6,000 attack creature, and then Dream Clown stuns their thing, and they can never use their super powerful creature ever again. Unless they like Curse Breaker it, in which case it probably is no longer a 6,000 attack creature. It loses like 4,000 attack, and they're just really sad. So, Dream Clown, basically removal without removing the card. So, can be really strong. It also fuses with the Judgment Hand to make Judge Man. So, you can definitely do a play where you have a Dream Clown stun something, you fuse on top of it with Judgment Hand the next turn and triple equip it or something, and then you hit the creature that your opponent Rurioku'd or something, or you hit the opponent's creature that they just Curse Breaker to try to remove its spellbinding for next turn, and then you just game them or something. So there's definitely some synergy there. It's also nice to be able to fuse it off and make something good. Then triple eye armor. It's a warrior deck. What? We just have to have 3 of these. I mean, I put these in every deck, so if it's not in my warrior deck, I'm doing something wrong. Swordsman from a Foreign Land. This is one of those cards that's just not going to get targets for buffs, even though it is an Earth Warrior. It's just here for its effect, to basically, as long as your opponent doesn't have like a Shadow of Eyes or Gorgon Eye, you just throw this thing in defense and it kills whatever attacks it. It's got a nice, wonderful effect for that. Not my... I mean, definitely, I just like 3 of them. I mean, it's 10 deck costs for card removal. It's also 1 summoning point, so this deck is quite low summoning points, so you're probably not going to run out of summoning points, which is nice. Triple Queen's Double. These are for fusions to Performance of Sword with Princess of Surugai. You can also, in like a bind, you can place Princess of Surugai and buff it by 700 with this. You're usually not going to have to do that. There's not that bad of bricking in your hands because like these are the only cards that just don't fuse that well. And you don't want to just perfectly play, but I mean, you're not too unhappy with the 1600 attack Princess of Surugai, and then, but these also fuse together, so to make a 1900 attack creature. And if you're against warriors, it's a pretty decent fusion. And it's also buffed by every buff card in this deck, so I put that fusion in. There's definitely an argument to be made. You can play stronger cards, so not my favorite fusion, but hey, it's a fusion for Earth Warriors. Ancient Tree, this card's a better Royal Decree. That's just what it is. It's a Royal Decree you can turn off, which, if you've ever played modern Yu-Gi-Oh!, you know how broken Imperial Order was when you could turn it off, so... and that's basically the same thing here. It's also 26 deck cost instead of 90, so pretty good. I use Mimicat here. This is entirely because I had virtually no deck cost in this deck, and I wanted to put in a Monster Reborn for an extra threat. Might as well use Mimicat because it's just a better Monster Reborn. It's super expensive, probably not worth it, but I threw it in. Here I'd probably just play either a Monster Reborn or like another M&F or something. Not necessary, but definitely a good card. Sogen, definitely could put in 3 of these. Definitely could put in 3 of those. If you don't want Mimicat or Magic Neutralizing Force Field, you can just replace them with 2 more Sogens. Just changes the field for you. Absolutely could put in more. I didn't exactly have enough room, but this just depends how you want to build it. Definitely, I could also remove 2 Invigorations for it, so if you want it, grab Sogens. I hadn't really been needing it, but it's definitely there, and at least a 1 of is a minimum. Probably, like, as I refine this deck more, it might end up getting more. Soul of the Pure, Life Point Regen, just saves you in some matchups where you need it. Magic Neutralizing Force Field, probably not the best card for this deck to be using. It's an incredibly strong card for 25 deck cost. Get rid of a bunch of the spellbinding on your own cards. And you can also destroy traps with it and spells and especially since you have open card, you can flip up your opponent's spell cards and then use this on them. And you can get rid of that pesky mirror wall with it. Pretty good card. The only problem is you have to be careful with your eye armors and green kappas, so definitely be careful with it. 3 legendary swords, 3 invigorations, 3 kunais. As I said, you can definitely take out 2 invigorations and put in 2 more Sogans if you want. If you're looking for a much higher deck cost version of this for like going and dealing with bosses, take out the invigorations, put in Ruryokus. And then a Goblin Fan because I hate Ruryoku. So that's the deck. Definitely some choices here. Performance of Sword, not the best card, but there aren't many great options for fusions and warriors, so kind of go with it. And I like going into Judgman pretty quickly, easily. This deck should never run out of summoning power. There are only like 4 cards in here that are level 4, so you should regen summoning points and be able to play every card in this deck on any turn. So, like, you play 1 spell card and then you are good for the rest of the game. So, it's pretty good. I'm actually gonna just do this real quick. There we go. That's a little more balanced for playing the game early. I don't like Invigoration that much because of how weak it is. Start off against Tristan because he is a fellow warrior user. Kind of show off Performance of Sword. Also get to just show off how much stronger our deck is than his. Although he can Blackluster Soldier you, and that's annoying. Blackluster Soldier's not in this because it's dark, and B, it's the fusion costs at minimum like 7 stars, so I don't really like things that cost that much. Is that a block attack? It was. I thought it might be, so. Ooh, that looks like a fun card to get copied with Green Kappa's effect. Ooh, that's a 4,000 attack Gaia. Because of where I put Green Kappa, I copy it where it was standing, and it attacks onto a field that it was not strong on. I also did it on that field so that I can move into the Sogan and gain the bonus stats. You can also do this with your leader's range and stuff, so there's absolutely no way that Tristan ever beats these Green Kappas and Eye Armors. Unfortunately, this hasn't showed how strong this deck is. This has just showed that these cards are extremely strong, and I put them in so many decks that every deck would do this. And as you can see on the top right, I have 4 summoning power left over at the end of this turn, and I'll have another, so I'll have 7 at the start of next turn. I'm just never going to run low on summoning power because I played a single Mimikyu this game. Oh, he's dead. Just to show off this fusion, I guess. Now that we're done with that, we're gonna go over to, I'm gonna go to, I think Joey is a good choice. Joey he has one of those really annoying tune fields, and uses a bunch of dragons, so this is a good deck to show off against Joey. Also, you can always add in tech cards like Sword of Dragon Soul if you really want to just make fights like this really easy. He does use a bunch of traps, and I'm not worried about life points, so I'll get rid of Soul here. Throw in Ancient Tree. Now, any of his traps are useless. Again, I don't have too much I want to play here, but I have, like, Swordsman, which will trade with whatever big creature that he just plays here. And I'm pretty sure he's going to play a big creature here, since he should have 7 summoning power. And again, I'm just going to throw down an Eye Armor. Eye Armor and Green Kappas are 1-card threats. This moving that way moves the 1000 Dragon outside of my deck leader range, so I get more power for it. If I do this on Toon Terrain, I get an extra 500 attack and defense for it. So Toon Terrain's pretty good for me. And here we get to see Swordsman from a foreign land just destroying really big cards. What other 10 deck cost card in the game can do that? Maneater Bug is slightly better, but it is not a warrior. I guess I'm just gonna play this. It's a slightly big creature. I don't really feel bad about playing an Axe Raider at 2800. It's pretty good. Ooh, a Mimicat. Let's not let that have a turn. I don't think Million Curry actually matters. I think this might just be more evidence that these cards need nerfed. The Eye Armors and Green Kappas, that is. Because they're pretty much just single-handedly winning this game. Basically, whatever my opponent plays, I get to see, which is really powerful. That's probably going to actually kill something. Or it's a baby dragon. In which case it's not. Well, that was an interesting play. It matters very little, but it was an interesting play. I'm just gonna leave this Time Wizard here so that this attack can go through. That's a 1,000 dragon. This is gonna go in here, and then I'm gonna end the duel by attacking him. And now I'm gonna show making the deck a little bit stronger with Ruryoku's, so we can go after Labyrinth Ruler, Paradox, however you want to say his name, or whatever his name is in this game. So we'll just go and take out 2 Invigorations. And put in some Ruryoku's. It's Labyrinth Ruler in this game, so we'll go after him. He shouldn't be too terrible to deal with. Mimikat's also really good against him, especially if he uses Ruryoku first turn. It's not a Ruryoku. It is an equip I cannot use. We'll use Swordsman from a foreign land to kill whatever he used there. He just dumped a whole bunch of cards. Especially for somebody that has quite a strong bag. He dumped Fiend Sword and like Hornet, double Fiend Sword. Get a magnitude check on his creatures. 3150, so probably like a Succubus Knight. So I really don't have the best hand here. I'm just gonna play down a card and hope that I draw something good. unfortunately, the more you try to make sure that your summoning power doesn't have a problem, the more inconsistent your deck is going to end up being. Oh, hey, a Kaganingen. Wow, I actually have a way to kill that. Oh, I drew something pretty decent. Ooh, Shadow Spell. Nasty. Bye-bye, Kaganingen. Or Kagingen. Also, Performance of Sword is really good against this guy. Well, there's that Succubus Knight. Okay. Well. Sometimes you just draw the exact card that you need to win the game. So, yeah, this is a pretty strong deck. Didn't really get to show off Performance of Sword, absolutely wrecking something with the triple equip that it got. But it's a pretty good demonstration of how this deck tries to function. Yep, do expect another video tomorrow about a different type of warrior deck, probably Darks, since I can't really imagine ever making anything other than either an Earth or a Dark Warrior deck. Again, if you're making a Light Warrior deck, just for anyone's understanding, they're basically going to use Mystical Elf. And at that point, I mean, you're going to make Skull Guardians and that stuff, but you're going to basically be playing a light deck, and it's just better to play full light than it is to play, like, Moon Envoy is probably one of the worst cards in the game. Guiltia, not a great card. Luminous Soldier, it's just worse than Guiltia. I mean, they're just 5 summoning power for subpar stats, so that's just what you're gonna get if you play Light Warriors, so just please understand that that's where I'm coming from. I'll probably end up doing a light deck at some point, but light decks are extremely strong, so you have to, like, they're pretty hard to get in this mod, because Dancing Elf is, like, only available in the slots and other things like that. But that's a really strong deck, so I'll get to that eventually. So thanks everybody for watching, and have a nice day.